Hi, and thanks for joining me on another Dave Does It video. It's been a while since I last posted one, and the reasons behind it is I've been waiting for a lot of stuff to turn up. However, this video is purely dedicated to living with a Kiravans or a Kiravans swiveling base for a T5. I put one in about 4 months ago, and while they're really awkward to twist round and make them work, I kind of wanted to show you something new. So if you guys have all been dealing with these things, I've got a base which is, you know, the usual connections and all the rest of it. However, the bit that they don't quite fit. So getting into the van, I'm now sat in the passenger seat. Let me show you my knee position. Yep, so I am absolutely solid, and the poor person that's got to sit in the passenger seat next to me has got that much space between the seat and that. So if I move over a seat, I am literally, that's the best way of showing you, wedged. Now, I've been online on Facebook, and I found a bloke who does reduced height. Now, the reason for reduced height is when you fit this, it is about 2 inches taller. If I show you down here, apologies for the bad clothes and everything else and the bad hair, it is a hot sunny day. This seat compared to that one, turn the hazards on, is about 2 inches taller now. So I found this bloke on Facebook who takes old bases, he cuts them down, re-welds them up, and I'm going to try fit them on today and see what it's like. He tells me that it's going to improve my position for my passengers, which is hopeful because my passengers are, you know, 6'3" like me. So down here I have my box, and I'm going to unbox this and show you. Right, so unboxed, first appearances. Yep, it's pretty good. It looks pretty good, and it's a bit of a tweak in that corner to make it fit, and as you can see, let's have a look. The ridges on this side are still slightly different. The rest of it all looks fairly good. Obviously, that compared to that, I'll take this out in a second, put them next door to each other and show you. The one thing I can stress though, that I will stress, is that this may not be CE compliant, because obviously he's a welder and he knows what he's doing, but hasn't been crash tested. So if you're going to fit one of these, fit it at your own peril, and if you're going to use it, just, you know, be aware that it's not a CE compliant part, which is crash tested. Okay, I'm going to take the other one out, just to remind you, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bolts. They are, I think they're 17mm, so you'll need an extension, a 17mm socket and a ratchet, and obviously on top of that we're going to have to take all of this off. So let's get to it. I'm going to pause this and I'll come back to you in a second. Okay, so the seat is out, so that now I need to tell you what tools to use to undo it. So these ones here on the side, 1, 2, 3, you will need it's a M10 multi-spline. So it's M10 multi-spline. Apologies for the state of my tools. They've been well used, being as a mechanic and doing stuff at home. So the M10 multi-spline for those three. Open up inside. Undo the bolt here. I don't know if you can see it for the seat belt. 17mm. The nut here is a 19mm with the spline on the other side. So you'll need 1, 2, and that's an M12. M12 with a 19mm. Going round to the other side. Again, M10, M10 and M10. You'll also need a pair of snips just to lever that off. Once you lever that off, that whole bar here will slide to the left and you'll be able to take this off. So let's get to that and I'll be back in a second. Okay, so that was actually a lot easier than I thought it was going to be, especially the little pin. That just slid out with no problems. Right, so let me show you the height difference. Original on the left hand side, low one on the right hand side. You can see that these cut quite a lot of the bottom by it's now 2 rails rather than 3 rails. So if I do that, I brought it into the shade so you can see it a little bit better. So far so good, it looks quite good. Internally, all the fixing points are still in the same place for that one. And coming on the other side, yeah. So he's actually cut the bottom off here. He hasn't done anything to the top, so obviously the top's still the same. I was a little bit concerned by, you know, the strengthening points here and here, but looking into it, seems like the strengthening points are all there. That's obviously been changed from that to that, and the same on that side. It's not as strong, but everything else, you know, all the welds look good, and all things considered, it should be okay. Now, pretty much exactly what I thought I would have done if it was me doing it. I would have marked a line 2 inches all the way around the base, cut it, and then that bit I would have slid into the inside of it and then re-weld it. So I'll show you. You can see here, this is the 2-inch line. So he's cut it, slid it into inside, and then re-welded it. So it still contains all of the same mounting points, all the same marks, and all the rest of it. My plan is to now put this back into the vehicle and sit on it and see what it looks like. So give me a few more minutes. I'll bolt it in and I'll give you my first opinion. Bear with me. Okay, so I bolted the seat back in. And it's a lot lower than what it was, which is good. I mean, it was not quite as well as I'd hoped on the front bolts, and it needed a little bit of adjustment, as in I had to knock it down with a gentle knocking stick. However, it's in. Seat's in. Put it there. Now let's see what it sits like. I'm going to sit in the vehicle now and see what it sits like. Oh. Okay, wow. So my head's not on the roof. Excuse my books. Head's not on the roof, and the amazing thing, I'm sat, my knees aren't on the dash. So I've actually got space. Now the question is, move over. No, that's pretty much the same. I mean, I've got a little bit of space, I'll show you from this angle. Sorry about this. Hopefully you're not feeling seasick from this. There's a little bit of space here, and I'm sat at the back of the seat. So, yeah, I mean, it seems better so far. I'm gonna bring my feet forward, gonna relax, got a bit of space here. Yeah, I'm pretty impressed so far. I'll have to get my 6'3" brother in here and sit in the seat and see what he thinks, but so far so good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave a link at the bottom to the bloke. Big what's up to him. It wasn't exceptionally expensive. I paid at the time less than £200 for the seat modification, and I'm going to have to send my old base back to him so that he can then modify it and sell it to one of you guys if you like. I'm not getting any pointers out of this, I'm just trying to give you guys some advice. The biggest problem I had was space, and the last thing to check is that the seat actually moves round and round and round, because we all know how difficult the Kiravans seats are. Sorry if I'm not saying that correctly, but he tells me that it makes no difference. Now, I've learnt by living with it, and I'm actually living in the van because I'm working away at the moment, that the only way to do it is to undo all the 4 bolts, push the seat as far forward as possible, then turn it clockwise, and then pull it back a bit, and then push it forward again, and turn it the rest of the way, but make sure you have the handbrake done. I hope you liked the video. I hope it's interesting to you. I'm sure I've waffled on for far too long, and if you need any more advice, then let me know. My next challenge is I'm going to take it all back out again. I'm only doing this to show you, because I've pretty much carpeted everything in the vehicle, and I'm going to carpet the base as well, so it looks good. Alright guys, happy camping, enjoy yourselves, stay safe out there, and thanks very much for watching.